Well, I'd just like to apologize in advance. This is the longest 3-minute speech you'll ever hear because it's going to be about 6 minutes long. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, graduates, honored guests, faculty, and friends. First, I would like to congratulate the tremendous achievement of everyone here today, and I'm honored to deliver this speech. A special congratulations to our gold medalist, Simon Myers. He has this sort of effortless brilliance. He claims not to study hard, but he's a better student than a liar. Simon is the kind of guy you'd love to have a beer with, but hate to face in court. I do hope we get to do both a couple times in the future. However, not even Simon would be here today without the love and support of those around us. I'd like to thank my parents, my sister, my beautiful and supportive wife and her family, and thank you to all of the spouses, partners, family, friends, and mentors that in their own way are responsible for the success of each graduating student here today. I'd like to also personally thank my friends and colleagues who, over these last 3 years, kept me honest, kept me company, and kept asking me to cook for them. And of course, a shout out to the boys of Woodhaven 8 for making me an honorary jot. You know, a lot of people have a lot of expectations about this speech. For weeks I've heard everything from, why is the guy who asked how to transfer out on day one speaking at grad? To, I told my parents your speech would be good. It better be good. Well, let me tell you something. One, we all know how much the people who transferred out live to regret it. And two, I started thinking about this speech almost a year ago, 8 months before I even knew I had to deliver it. I started thinking about this speech last August on my first wedding anniversary. We were touring all 3 local Kamloops wineries. You know, Kamloops is home to one of the newest law schools in Canada, but you may not know that Kamloops is also home to one of the newest wine-producing regions in Canada as well. Kamloops wineries must compete with older, more established institutions only a few hours away. They receive only modest, measured acclaim. Kamloops wine is young, but it punches above its weight. It is small, but it makes a big impact. Kamloops produces some amazing wine, but must continually prove itself on its own merits before being seen as truly equal to the established places. Is this starting to sound familiar? Recognize that not only does TRU Law face a similar struggle as the up-and-coming Kamloops wine region, all of us individual law students are like a bunch of grapes. We're even wearing purple. Yearning to reach our full potential, both in the existential sense and in the pursuit of maximizing our social and market value. Grapevines, like law students, take 20 to 25 years of continuous effort, time, care, and money to develop strong roots that before they're worthy of producing anything turn into wine. Grapes, like law students, compete with each other to be selected for winemaking. Each of us grapes is deliberately picked with care, some because we score well on tests, or because we look a certain way, or because we demonstrate potential in the eye of the winemaker, aka faculty. We start with individual histories, different roots, raised in different climates, up until that critical moment where we're all picked to be in the same batch. Some of us wait many years before we're selected. Others get lucky and are picked early in our lives. But when we get here, we're all the same age, 1L. And that's where the fun starts. So here we are, us 110 TRU Law grapes. What's the first thing that happens to freshly picked grapes for wine? Well, we're separated into a Section 1 bucket and a Section 2 bucket. And then the winemakers proceed to exert extreme pressure and stress upon us all at once. They squeeze us underfoot. They crush and churn us until we are nothing but a pulp, a shell of our former selves. Now that all of us TRU Law grapes have been crushed together, we begin the aging process. Like all fine wine, we must spend about 2 or 3 years aging in an old barrel or an old Maine barrel. Locked away day after day, subject to a constant battery of tests, spending most of our time indoors. Expectations are high, and nobody will know if we're any good until the very end of the process. As a group, we mature. We develop complexity. We change our character. We develop both bitterness and sweetness. And of course, we slowly become more and more saturated with alcohol. After years of immense pressure and countless tests, we emerge fundamentally changed, permanently scarred, and most importantly, unified by a shared, at times traumatic, but ultimately enriching experience. It is this shared experience that will create strong bonds between us all, a connection that will last a lifetime. Many people assume that this pressure is precisely calculated and that the process is like clockwork, but it's not. Turning grapes into wine is equal parts art and science. In fact, at times it felt like the winemakers, and especially the wine administrators, were making it up as they went along. Sometimes we questioned if there was even a method to this madness, and I suppose being here today is proof that there was. We endure all of this for the single purpose of one day emerging with significant commercial, social, and ethical value. Unfortunately, that value can only be realized after we are separated, each in an individual bottle. Today, we bear the same label. We are all part of the 2017 vintage of TRU Law. And boy, I tell you, I think the 2017 vintage is our best year yet. Just look at what we have already achieved. We have students who went for exchanges in far-off places, gaining international perspective. People who work for top global firms and clerking at prestigious courts. And that's just Sam. The 2017 vintage of TRU Law is truly a banner year, a testament to the fertile minds, the masterful instruction, and of course, the development of each individual one of us grapes. So while we all share the same label, we're headed down our own paths. Some bottles are going to get picked up by massive international wine firms. Others are selected by regional or boutique wine shops right here in Kamloops. But remember, it's not only a matter of where you end up right away. Truly great wine, the most expensive, the most coveted, the most acclaimed, is not ready to drink right out of the barrel. No, truly great wine must endure many, many, many more years of proper care and attention, carefully held in the perfect environment until being ready to truly shine. So worry not if your value is immediately recognized upon graduation. Rather, focus on finding a place where you can age gracefully, like Tyler. In just the right conditions. Someday, you may surpass every expectation, but don't wait too long, or you'll end up old, bitter, and without any value to anyone. Wear the label you got today like a badge of honor. Be proud of where you came from, of the environment which shaped you, and the people who were there to support you and love you along the way. We have a lot of hard work ahead of us. Law is an incredibly demanding career. There's long hours, there's social stigma, and oftentimes it is a thankless job. So I will leave you with this, class of 2017. Do not let making a living prevent you from making a life. Thank you.